evolution of society should go towards
egalitarian.
Yeah, egalitarian. That's what the criticism was. So yeah, it was like the left nipple episode.
All joking aside, how do you feel about that conclusion? Do you think that's actually the way it should be?
Yeah, I think so. Well, because you have more brains to work with.
No, I agree. Well, I don't think. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, first of all, I don't think that that's the case even now. I feel like women's brains and men's. I don't think anyone looks at brains differently nowadays. I think people look at physicality differently, though. Hence why there's a NBA and a women's NBA, right? Now, I don't want to get into the whole gender thing, but all I'm saying is that
right.
I think in order to have true egalitarianism, you have to get rid of biology first. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. What's the Louis C.K. bit? Like racism might go away, but sexism is not going away. Like that shit is like deep in our DNA.
Because, and this is why, and I think he's right, and here's why, right? The genetic predisposition that causes skin color to change is like minute, right? Like there's no, just because it's like having a different shade of dog, different spots on a dog. It doesn't mean anything.
And might be even the same species as another, and like you have this totally different look, but you're gonna love the dog regardless,
right? However, sex is extreme genetic difference. Like the genetic differences may be only one chromosome that causes it. It's a lack of one or addition of another. But the phenotypic difference is
huge,
large.
You have the weird fat things coming out of your boob area.
Yeah, you have periods.
You have no penis.
Right. So I think Louis C.K. is right. And all I'm saying is I also think egalitarianism is better for the future of the species, especially if we become spacefaring. But you have to get rid of biology first. Or you have to circumvent biology. That's my point.
Yeah, is that going to be a cultural firmware that you're going to attach onto it, or is it more like you have to go from the biology?
You have to actually attack biology. I think.
So you're going to go like you have to go genetic on this.
Look, like I again, I don't want to get into the gender debate, but the gender, what's happening now, right, with transgenderism and stuff like that. It's I think as weird as it is for a lot of people to handle. And I understand why. It's very different than what we've been for thousands of years. I think our species will move towards non-gender at some point.
Not identity, but the actual physical.
Yes. I'm sorry, I should say non-sex.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the biology will go towards a certain hermaphroditic, or what do you think?
I think we will only procreate through test tubes at some point.
Damn. Would it be then all... So, but the biology has to change. You're talking about like a fundamental, huge change.
I'm saying that we eventually are going to manipulate our genetic code to the point where we dictate our evolution.
You think we'll do that?
Yes. I think we are. If we don't kill ourselves first with AI or bombs or disease or any of the other things that could kill ourselves with, I think I don't know how far in the future this will be, but I think at some point there will be no more sex. There will be just entities that exist.
Damn, dude, that's like... I just don't know, like, the stepwise, political decisions that can come from that. Because, like, that requires one scientist to go to an egg and then create a hermaphroditic non-sex thing.
Yeah, what comes first, the hermaphrodite or the egg, right? Is that what you're basically saying? Like, how does it naturally occur?
Effectively, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's eventually going to happen is people are going to realize that look, the seeds of it are starting now. With all the people that aren't having sex anymore, with the people that are becoming more seclusionary, with the openness of the gender revolution, whatever you want to call it, right? These are the seeds of that. It could take 100, 200, 300 years to happen, but
you're talking about there has to be a cultural shift that goes, all right, we're going to do this because like this shit is so fucked up, this whole sex thing.
Well, see, at this point in the game, I don't think there's any downside to having sexes. I still don't think there's a downside.
Well, yeah, because there's no material way to generate people, right? But if there's a material way to generate people and craft certain kinds of people
more efficiently,
yeah. What if, and this is kind of fucked up, because we can create better versions of people through, effectively, if this whole transfer or this whole language model applies to genetics, goes into play, and then we could kind of 3D print any kind of feature of a person.
Yeah.
What if that person has to be hermaphroditic? Effectively, like, how ligers are, right?
Yeah.
They can't be this thing that procreates because they're, in a weird way, constructs of science.
Right. There's a cost associated with having a reproductive organ. There's a cost associated with having the need to reproduce.
Right.
It is an alternate optimization strategy that probably isn't the most efficient if we want to become extremely, advanced spacefaring, all these things. There's this cost associated with it. And I'm going to sound crazy right now, but
please do.
Look at all of the Grey's aliens or whatever. They don't have sex, right? All of the aliens that we see that they're depicted in science fiction or in a or quote unquote reality, they're all sexless.
Well, they're bipedal, so that's already kind of weird to me, but okay.
Well, why do you think that's? Well, I think vertical, that saves on horizontal space, doesn't it? To be bipedal.
Do you think that's the best form?
And they're also short.
Yeah, but do you think that's a best form of a
to sit in a chair and touch things? Yeah.
Oh, I see. To touch things, yeah.
To sit in a chair and pilot ships.
I think the best form is just a floating brain.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. If we want to continue our existence the way it is, then I agree with what I just said. But if we want to be extremely efficient, we will become programs. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like there's no reason to have a body at all.
Yeah, there's no reason to have a body.
Yeah. But I think that's a step even farther up the line.
See the Q level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just be this consciousness in the air.
Right. Let's just put it this way. If we went in 500 years in the future, somehow right now, and there was no sex, I wouldn't be surprised.
Everyone will be Chinese.
Yeah, and that too.
Yeah.
Chinese sexless people. Yeah.
Chinese, Indian hybrids.
Yeah. They don't have genitalia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be wild, man. But you would have to do that, right? Because if we do implement this thing where we can craft people, we don't want them to be to introduce those genes directly into the human species, because we don't know what's going to happen with that.
Sorry, say that one more time.
So it would have to be like a liger, right?
Yeah.
Where they would have to be infertile because you're introducing this thing that is not human, or it's just off human.
Yeah.
Printed human.
Yeah.
That's going to introduce so much more moral decisions.
Oh yeah, huge. But I guess the TLDR is I feel like at one point we will direct our evolution completely. Nature will have no say anymore. It already has. It already has very little to say. But I think it will have no say at some point.
Yeah, it's like once you're in control of genetics, now you're in control of the direction of evolution.
Yeah.
Right. Now you don't rely on the, if we ever do get out of sex biologically, that won't happen without interference.
Yeah, you need to control the genome at that point. Otherwise, your species will die out, right? You need to procreate in some way.
Yeah. I wonder if that will be the case with population decrease, or, we'll have to replace humans, print them, start printing
Maybe.
out. Government
scary, dude.
Yeah. It was just like Japan just going, fuck, we have only 20 young people this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it gets to that point, it's countable how many natural born people exist. That'll be
movie?
Wild.
Where no one was having babies anymore.
It's like Children of Men.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie. It was more because people couldn't get pregnant anymore.
Yeah, there was an actual biological reason why it wasn't. No, it wasn't that people weren't having sex or anything like that. But yeah, that was still a good movie. But I think all the things that are happening, as much as we consider them unhealthy, like people not having sex or not engaging with the opposite sex or same, whatever, you know what I mean? Like getting involved with people romantically or otherwise. I think it's probably unhealthy at some level at this point in the game. But I think at some point in the game, it's not going to be unhealthy anymore. I think it's going to be a very common thing.
Just smooth dick people, smooth mannequin people in the holodeck.
It depends what is society's optimization strategy, right? Up until this point, it's been to bang, basically. And I feel like if you can envision something alternate to that, it's like what you said about how do you create the best AI. You should have an optimization strategy that's not based upon the fear of death or procreation. You should have an optimization strategy based on something more efficient. Well,
if you have a bunch of datas, what might be what's going to happen then?
A bunch of you mean data from Star Trek?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's essentially what I think the human race is going to turn into at some point.
Just a bunch of datas walking around.
Beta data.
Damn, beta datas. I mean, literally, no
Yeah.
sex, no nothing.
Yeah.